This is Morten from Inkish. I'm here in Radebeul together with Chica, and we are now talking to Tom, who is the product manager of this fantastic printing machine, VarieJet. Tom, good to see you.
Hi Morten, thank you. It's a pleasure to have you here. Yeah.
I mean, when I see the VarieJet, right, it is a huge digital printer, right?
Yeah, it's a big machine, and we developed it together with Koenig Bauer and with Durst to jointly create a product that really fits the customer needs.
And what I understand from what we spoke about before we turned on the camera is basically that you have taken components from, for example, from the Rapida. And what I mean, right now we are watching where the paper is fed into the machine.
Exactly.
What is it we see here?
It's the Rapida 106 Drivetronic feeder. It's a market-proven Rapida. Every press is running this at Koenig Bauer, so we have changed nothing. We just put the device we have in front of our VarieJet 106.
So that's quite amazing, because that basically means that if you're already a Rapida customer and you want to go digital with the VarieJet, it is the same operation, right?
Exactly. Yeah. The operators will feel home immediately if they're using this feeder, and so it makes very easy to operate our press in the end.
Must be nice, right?
Exactly, it is.
Yeah. And I mean, so of course, you need to have accurate feeding of paper, obviously, right? And since it's a proven technology, that's great. So we still have the paper feeder here, right?
Yeah, exactly. So the paper gets inside the machine, and here is our first coating unit. And we will come to this very soon. But before the paper enters the coating unit, we've got the Koenig Bauer Drivetronic SIS alignment station. So every sheet that is running inside the machine gets aligned here in both directions to ensure the highest register.
So that basically means that even though it goes fast, you still register the paper to make sure that it is totally aligned with the rest of the processes coming in after.
Exactly. Okay. But for us, that's nothing special, as this is just a Rapida.
You've done that always, right?
Yeah. It's nothing new developed.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, that's amazing. So you just take a lot of components and then basically you have a new machine, right?
Correct.
It's like Lego, right?
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic.
Like that.
So, I mean, now the paper is fed and it's aligned with everything, right? Then we have something that I normally don't see on a Rapida. That is the VarieJet, right?
Yeah, it's a flexo unit. It's from the Rapida 106 as well, so it's a market-proven flexo unit. And here we apply our very thin coating of primer. And we use primer to ensure the highest print quality on a very wide range of substrates.
Mm. And yeah, because I mean, basically, in order to make sure that you can control the drop and the size and everything that relates to the inking process, you need to be sure that you have control on the substrate, right?
Exactly, and this is what we are doing here with the technology. The primer fluid itself is also water-based and food compliant, so as the whole press.
Okay, which is good, of course. Okay, so let's go to the next thing, because what happens now we have the registered paper. It has been primed, so now it's almost ready for being printed, right?
It's ready for being printed, not yet, because...
Not yet.
Of course, we need to dry it, but this is a dryer which very smoothly uses the air from the factory and heat it up to 30 degrees roughly.
So it's not like a very active warming process, basically?
Okay. Basically, this is just a sheet transportation, and a little bit of heat gets applied to get the water out of the primer, but 30 degree is not that much energy consumption.
It almost feels like 30 degrees in here now, right?
Yeah, it is. Maybe it's a cooling device also.
And I heard yesterday that it was like the Sahara temperature was here.
Yeah,
so
in Dresden it was up to 30 degrees. Yeah, you're right.
So yesterday you didn't use any energy at all, right?
I guess so.
Okay, so here we get to something that looks a little bit different from the production machine, right? Because it looks really tall here, right? But Mike told me that it is a little bit smaller on the production machine. And
the latest ones, yeah.
So this is where the printing process takes place. But
exactly.
After now we have dried everything and it goes into the printing tower.
Yeah.
Now we have a new alignment, right?
We have our primer dryer, and the primer dryer is also Rapida part. So we use hot air and infrared technology, also from the Rapida. Okay. And this dryer, by the way, also builds the interface from offset to digital.
Okay.
And before every sheet enters our digital printing belt, which is running below here, every sheet gets aligned again. So we want to apply the colors on the paper, and we need to align our paper in front.
So when it's aligned, and is there some kind of suction in the paper, or how does it fit into the paper, or into the belt?
So the alignment first is the Koenig Bauer SIS unit again. In both directions, paper gets aligned, and then it gets transferred to our high precision belt. And the high precision belt has, I think, 7 suction units. Okay. The first suction unit, of course, there is a little bit more under pressure than the other ones, because at the beginning, if the sheet gets transferred to the belt, we want to really push it down to the belt that we can keep the register over the whole length of the belt.
And then after the registration and being placed on the belt, it goes with relatively high speed actually, right?
Yeah, 5,500 seats we're doing at the moment. But of course, we're also thinking about things like higher speed, as always. At Koenig Bauer we're doing. And, but you can be excited about Drupa, I think.
Oh, okay, so you're sharing something that I should look forward to. I love that. That's great. So, but now we have the sheet on the belt, and just behind us here, we basically have the print bars, right?
The print bars place, exactly. So the sheet is now on top of the belt and running through the print heads, and we've got 7 colors there: CMYK, orange, violet, and green, to reach a high color gamut which you need for folding carton production, right?
Yeah.
And all our rings are water-based, so comply with food applications, and with those inks we reach very high print quality. By the way, also here we used market-proven technology because we implemented the existing technology from Durst, our parent company, and put it in here to ensure, we're just using market-proven technology which is reliable and working.
Inside the print bars, you have the Samba print heads from Fujifilm.
Exactly.
I was just wondering, because I mean, it's proven technology, of course, as well. But I mean, the inks you do together, right? That is something that is also part of the Koenig Bauer Durst company, right? Yeah. And what about the controller technology on the print head? Is that also something that you do yourself?
Very good question. So we have the inks developed by Durst Liens. They've got a very, very, good ink lab, and they're developing the inks exactly like they did it for all the other presses. So for example, for the SPC, and they use this know-how to develop a great ink for our substrates, for our primer, and for our press in the end, because everything here needs to fit together perfectly to create a high quality product. Yeah. So the inks coming from Durst, from Koenig Bauer Durst in the end, and the technology to control the print heads come from Durst, developed in Brixen.
Okay, fantastic. Yeah. So it is homegrown, everything, right?
Yeah, it is, definitely.
So now we have the print on paper, and now I can see that we have a couple of dryers again, right?
We're not ready. We are not ready here.
I knew it.
To keep the highest quality, to keep the print heads in a very good condition, we always, for example, we've got installed a cleaning device. So, for example, if a customer is changing a job or is moving a new pallet inside the feeder, they press a button, and then the cleaning device automatically cleans the print heads to ensure always the highest print quality.
So that is also something that we find inside the tower, basically.
Exactly.
Is that, and you say the print operator has to do this, but this is a very fast process, right?
Just pressing a button.
And how long time does it take?
2.5 minutes, so you can do it really parallel to other processes you need to do on the press. If you, for example, change a job, change your paper, whatever.
Often when you talk about digital technology like this, of course it's like the productivity, which is, and of course you don't have any plates and things like that. But let's say that with the flexo units, is that just like full surface, or could you also have like, let's say, sleeves that have like partial varnish, or how does that work?
Normally we apply full sheet coating on our primer unit, but customers, if they want to glue it and have a special glue, they use cutted plates to make it gluable.
So that is possible, basically?
It's also possible, yeah.
Okay, especially because you have the version where you have more flexo units, right?
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So
and another thing about this unit, and which is very unique in the market, I think, is our inline camera system.
Yeah.
Our inline camera system is developed by Durst, jointly with Koenig Bauer Sheetfed and Koenig Bauer Banknote Solutions.
Okay, they should know, right?
We've got also expertise here from the banknote solution systems, and this camera or this system is able to detect every missing line we have in the print and to compensate it on the next sheet. So if there is a missing line, I mean, it's inkjet, we know it. Yeah. If there is a missing line, the camera sees it, can analyze it, and in the next sheet, it's not there anymore, and so we can ensure great quality.
Okay, but what about the let's say the sheet with the fold on it? Does it then mark it or something like that, so you can easily take it out of the production flow? I was just thinking that if you find an error, you would like to remove that sheet, right?
Yes, of course. For this, we've got an idea. So we want to print on every sheet an ID, and this sheet, if there is a bad sheet, for example, can happen. I mean, that's normal. and then it can go out over the cutting device.
Okay.
Yeah,
Smart.
That's how we save here a wastegate in the end. We don't need a wastegate because we want to do it after the process, after the printing process.
And I guess that you have probably thought a long time about that, and that is the right decision, right?
I hope so.
Okay.
But I think so.
Are we now finished with the tower?
Yes, we are.
We are.
I think so.
Fantastic. Okay, so we have, it looks similar to the beginning, a little bit longer, but is this drying units again?
So we are back on Rapida technology here. Starts here again. We've got here our inkjet dryer because we applied on the paper a lot of water-based ink, and now we need to get out the water of the ink, so we need to dry it, right? And here we've got, again, hot air and infrared technology from the Rapida 106, market-proven technology, and to dry the sheet. And the half of this dryer, roughly the half, is to dry the sheet, until here, roughly. And the other half of the dryer is to cool the sheet a little bit down, to give it time to relax, because we want to process the sheet within the print run, immediately after printing. And so we decided to install a chilling unit, a cooling unit, that we can apply coating, for example, on top of it.
Some of the inkjet printers I've seen in the market, they also even apply moisture to the paper when it's dried. Is that also something that you do, or have you control of the temperature so you don't need to do that, or?
No, we're just drying here, and in this unit it's just transportation of the hot air away from the sheet in the end. Yeah.
Okay, great. And then we have, I guess that you will say in a moment that this is also proven Rapida technology, right?
Right, yes.
Okay. I'm not so easy to cheat, you know. So what do we see here?
So what you see here is our digital feeder again. So the sheet that is running through the machine is getting aligned before our OPV station, our priming overprint varnish station.
So that is like more like a conventional kind of varnish where you had. Is it like a water dispersion varnish or?
Exactly. You can use every varnish you know from your offset press, even if it's water-based or UV varnish if you like.
Okay, so you can configure that to what you need, basically.
Like on the Rapida.
Okay.
It's exactly Rapida part from our modular system, and you can just use it and configure it like you need it in the end.
Okay.
Yeah.
And can you configure it like per job, or is it when you buy the machine you need to configure it to water-based or to UV, or?
Because there are some mechanical changes, you need to buy it upfront and having the machine, and then, but also you can change within a job for between water-based and UV coatings.
Okay, so that is possible.
Okay,
sure. That's great. So now we have a finished sheet, and now we have, is that like one more drying unit now after the?
Exactly. So we imagine the coating is now on the paper, and then we got here a gripper system, also Rapida technology, and here is a small dryer which dries the coating, and it's also a Rapida part. So this whole part here, the whole delivery is from the Rapida, and standard technology in the end.
It must be truly nice for the collaboration in Koenig Bauer Durst that you can take technology that already exists, because I mean if you had to develop everything from scratch, wow, costly and takes a lot of time. Right now you can take proven technology.
But it's not only about that, it's also about the expertise we can use, because we have so many experts in the company Koenig Bauer. That's why we also are leveraging the technologies, for example, from banknote solutions. And we've got Durst, of course, and Durst is also a company with a wide machine park there. They are developing a lot of presses, and we are using a lot of parts from them and expertise, and the same is true for Koenig Bauer.
I can't help think about that, you know, in the beginning, was it like, oh no, this is ours and this is ours? Or was it like opening from the beginning?
It was a very open partnership, and we work extremely well together. And
must be fun, right? Because I mean, you.
Oh, it's very fun because I'm traveling a lot, but I love it to be in Radebeul. I love it to be in Brix, New Orleans. It's always great to meet the team, and virtually we're also always in contact every day nearly. And we've created a very, very nice team around the VarieJet. So if we are talking about Koenig Bauer, if we are talking about Durst, in the end, we feel like we've just one team, one big team.
Okay, fantastic. And now we have the Rapida 106 delivery, right?
Yeah, we have, exactly.
I told you, I'm not easy to cheat, right? So,
that's correct.
And this is again like this exact same module as you have on
exactly the same, yeah. So every operator that has already worked with our Rapida will feel home here immediately. It's exactly the same control system, and market proven, runs fast, if you like, and
The last thing we need to talk about, as you said, even the control station here, right, is also the same that you use. I can see the software looks a little bit different, of course, right?
Of course, we've got here our Koenig Bauer Rapida part control system, which is exactly the same like on a Rapida.
Yeah.
Of course, some things are different, but operators will feel home immediately here as well.
Yeah.
And here we've got, for the information, for additional information, some parts of the Durst system to check.
Okay.
And what is interesting here as well is this big screen, because here in the left corner we see at the moment nothing really. But if you are running a job, you can see the print image live on this screen. So
from the camera system, or
from our camera system?
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
So that is like I mean, just in case the operator needs to have like a visual kind of what is
visual feedback, and
especially because it goes fast and it has many jobs going on in the same job.
Exactly.
Basically. Yeah. And then, of course, you don't have any control strips because there's nothing to control. It's made in pre-press everything, right?
Not really, no.
Yeah.
No.
So, what do people say when they come? I mean, I guess that you have had a few customers here. What do people think about it? The machine?
I think they are impressed by the size of the machine, of course, to be honest. But they see that we really used market-proven technology, put it together with our expertise of all companies, and we're able to create a great press. And if they are here, where we are at the moment are standing and looking at the prints, you see they are fascinated by it because the quality looks great, and that's why we are here. And with our ability to add additional coating units pre and also post inkjet, the customers are fascinated because this enables them to cover a lot of applications what in the end customer wants to have, or the brand wants to have.
Yeah. The last question, Tom, being the product manager of the VarieJet, I mean, how much? I mean, do you know every detail of the machine, or I mean, how involved are you with it?
I wouldn't say I know every detail of the machine, but I'm in contact every day with the R&D department, so I'm close to the R&D department, and I try to know everything, but I think I can't ever know everything. So we've got a lot of experts here that really can answer also the very detailed Rapida questions I can't answer for sure. And the same is true for the Durst technology here in this press. But personally, I'm very interested in technology. I'm very interested in manufacturing of printing presses. So yeah, I love it, and I'm totally enthusiastic into this. And of course, I try to be as close as it's possible on the product and on the technology.
Fantastic. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Tour. That was
Thank
fun.
you so much.
Okay.
What a lot of fun. Yeah.
Good.